is the Livin in Vegas podcast. We want to welcome you all to the show today. We've got a special guest today that we're going to bring on in just a couple of minutes here. We actually had some technical difficulties last week, or we would have probably brought her on earlier, but we had it happens sometimes. What are you going to do? So I want to remind everybody, if this is the first time you've ever seen the show, I'm Sherman Ray. I'm the host of the Livin in Vegas podcast, publisher of Livin in Vegas magazine, and the wife to my wife and 4 kids. So we talk about the people, the places, the trends, the events that really shape the city of Las Vegas. And this week, I'll tell you, folks, this is probably one of the most exciting weeks that you could be in Las Vegas. And it really is. We've got the NAB convention that's in town right now. We also have the NFL draft, which is in town. Yeah, I know. There's a ton of stuff going on here. If you stick around to the second half of the show, we're going to talk about a few more, pretty cool things that are going on. I want to welcome all of our friends on Facebook. I'm going to go over to our Facebook business page right now, because that's probably where the show is at. We're on a different platform today, so a lot of the places where our show would normally come up, it's not going to come up. I'll do some finagling here to make it come up, but generally what happens is on this particular format, it'll only go up to our business page. So I'm going to go over there really quick. Yep, so we're on our business page right now, and I'm going to share this over to our we're going to share it over to our group page, which it's shared to right now. So it's shared to our group page right now. And I'm also going to share it over to our Livin in Vegas page, or excuse me, Livin Weekly page. So, so I think I can do that right now. Because we want to make sure that people who normally don't get to see the show when we're on this format, that they actually get to see it. And I'm going to do it one more page, okay? So there's one other page that I'm going to share it to, and that is over to our Black Success Magazine page. I think that's a real cool page that we want to share that over to. Hang on, let's see if I can do that real quick. And then we'll get on with the show, okay? Success. Oh, I know why. Hang on 1 second here. There we go. All right, so we're going to share it over to that page also, and then it's going to go up to you guys. Okay, so cool. All right, so while those things are propagating over to the pages, I want to welcome everybody who's watching us on Facebook. You're watching us on Twitter, YouTube, that kind of stuff. I want to welcome you all to the show today. And we're going to be bringing on a guest who's got... you're going to hear more and more about here in the next coming months if you've not heard about her before. We did a little interview last week with her so it's almost like I know her already. And so I want to bring on Sincere Porter. She goes by the name of Sincere. She's I'm going to go ahead and say it right now, a Grammy nominated. I'm going to say it already because she'll be there. I know she's being modest, but she won't say that, but I'll bring her on right now. Sincere, come on to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
So glad you're here with us.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Don't mind me, prophesying into your life, Grammy-nominated, award-winning musician, singer, songwriter. That kind
Not at all. I'll manifest that too. I'm gonna snatch that. Yes, get it. Get that.
Well, so Sincere. Here's we talked a little bit last week about you. So for those folks that were not with us last week, let's talk a little bit about you and who you are and really the whole reason. Well, we'll go on. But who is Sincere? Tell everybody about us.
Sincere is a loving, church-going, goofy, talented, laid back. I mean, typical, I wouldn't say typical, but the girl next door that's like the homie to everybody. Laid back, chill, don't like drama. And I just love music. Like I would rather sing my problems than have problems. Just put it that way. But yeah, I'm a dope person. I'm dope. Not just toot my own horn, but toot toot beep beep.
Well, so you've got some really cool accolades, and right, you're a singer, right?
Yeah.
You're a singer, a songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
And what we'll do is we'll on our Facebook page and on our website we'll definitely post some of your music. If people are looking you up, what kind of music are people going to be looking forward to hearing? What kind of music do you do?
They are going to hear, because the first thing that comes to mind will be R&B and soul, but I just don't want to be boxed in. But I can't lie and say that you're not going to hear some R&B and some raspy and some soul, because I grew up in church. So you're going to hear that first and foremost. But R&B, but also, I like a lot of dramatic. I like some pop, but besides gospel, R&B is the first love.
Okay. And so one of the things that you've got an album coming out, so we're going to talk about your album here in just a second.
Okay.
When I first heard about you, your one of your promoters, one of your producers contacted us and said, "Hey, I've got this great artist. She's got some cool things that are going on, and you've won some awards just recently."
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that. That's pretty exciting.
Okay. Whew, let's go back to the ride. All right. So months before there's a local award show out here in Las Vegas called Black Music Awards. Mm-hmm. So that aired, or not aired, but it started in August of last year. So before August, I knew that I was going to perform one of my songs from my first EP, Fearless. I knew I was going to perform Angels Can't Fly months before the show. Now, it wasn't until 5 days before the show that I was told, oh yeah, and you're also going to be honoring Miss Karen White by singing Superwoman. So I was just like, okay. So that was that. My song Angels Can't Fly was nominated for Song of the Year. So even though this may sound cliche, I was literally satisfied with just being nominated, because that let me know that people are listening, people like what they hear and everything like that. So
hang on a second. So you're saying you just, because it just rolled off your tongue. Well, Song of the Year. Well, just something, it happens every day. Really?
Yeah, I was like, wait, okay. Because, I'm so humble, it's probably annoying. People's like, yeah, but this is happening and this is happening. And I'm like, that's cool. That's awesome.
So that's the way it was. So you just said, hey, I'm excited, I'm blessed. Thank you that I got nominated. And had you even thought that this could actually happen? I mean, was it
when you have a dream, of course, you're going to be like, this would be cool for this to happen. And I want this to happen and this to happen. And then when it actually happens, you're like, this happened, so it was surprising. Like I said, it was just the nomination for one category, Artist of the Year. But when I walked away with, I'm sorry, not Artist of the Year, Song of the Year. So when I walked away with Song of the Year and Artist of the Year and Video of the Year, I was like, okay, all glory goes to God, because I was not expecting that by a long shot. So that was a blessing.
Yeah. And that's, I'll tell you, that's, I think people, so how long have you been working at this? I mean, you've been working at this for a long time now.
Yes. So with my team, my management, my producers, all that, it's Blink Show TV. So we've been working with each other for over a decade. And that's when I started taking it serious, because I've always had inspirations of becoming a singer. But as, going through life, and I'm a mom and everything, music just wasn't paying my bills. So I was more focused on my safety net, meaning like my job, my 9 to 5 and all that, more than I was my music. But it wasn't until I had hooked up with Blink Show TV, like, okay, we need to do this. This is what I want to do.
Yes.
Inspired by this. We need to do this. So I started taking it seriously then.
Isn't that exciting? And then overnight, of course, overnight, you become Artist of the Year, Song of the Year. It's just, because I know people say that and they go, oh, she just started like a week ago. And all of a sudden she's on top of the world. But you've been working at this for over a decade now with just this with Blink Show TV.
Yes.
And you've probably been working on it before that also. So it was not an overnight success. I mean, what kind of message do you think that sends to people who are going out there and they're really they're chasing their dream. They're really chasing their dream. And you've been at this for a while. What kind of message does that send to people who are actually going out there pursuing their dreams?
Do not give up. That sounds cliche as well, because this is the thing. It doesn't matter what you want to do. It doesn't matter how old you are. It just does not matter. You are going to come across paths with those who are haters, those who put limitations on themselves, and then they try to project it onto you. Oh, well, you shouldn't be doing this because if you didn't make it by now, you're not gonna. Don't listen to that. Like, it's easy to do it, but if you have a dream and it is your passion, you eat, sleep, and breathe your passion, everything else does not matter. If you believe in yourself and you have faith in God, there's nothing that can stop you but you. So keep going.
I know I think that's important. For those of you who are just joining us right now, thank you for joining us on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm with Sincere Porter. She's in we're putting it out there right now. A Grammy nominated singer, songwriter, actress, entrepreneur, philanthropist.
Yes.
And so we're talking a little bit about her newest EP that's out right now. And what's the newest EP that's going to be coming out? And when is it coming out?
I haven't set a date yet, but we are working on it currently. But the name of it is going to be Bombs. It's abbreviated for BOMBS. So with my first project, EP Fearless, at that time I was going through a heartbreak. So I was crying and all this other stuff. So with the second project, this is after the tears, after the waking up, going to sleep, crying. Now you looked in the mirror and was like, you know what? I done forgot who I am. Hold up. So it's abbreviated for Back on My BS. So this one's gonna be the party project.
Yeah, Back on My BS. That's awesome. What a great. So you've got a new EP. You haven't announced it yet. Would you like to make that announcement now? When you think it's going to be? Are you going to give us like a little exclusive here?
I can definitely tell you this. May 5th, we are going to have a release for my first single off of that project called Hands Up. So get ready to dance, get ready to have them hands in the air, make some room because it's going down.
So do you have a mix of songs, a lot of ballads, or are you more upbeat type music?
I'm everywhere. That's why I don't want to be in a box, because it's like, I would honestly say that I do love ballads because, it's a slower pace. Mm-hmm. You understand more. You get to have like a closer connection. But then at the same time, everything isn't, sad and, just walking through and sliding down the wall like an old 90s R&B video. But I'd like to say I'm a mixture of both. I have feelings like the next person. I'm sad one minute, I'm happy the next. I'm empowering the next minute after that. So it just depends on the mood. Where my music goes. Yeah.
Because it's funny, like singers like Sade, and then you fast forward to other singers that are more modern, they were kind of known for their ballads.
Yes.
Sade is kind of like, she's kind of, if there's a real, that kind of thing.
Okay.
I know that was my rendition of Sade. You didn't know that, but I can do that.
Okay.
But so would you say you're a stylist, a songstress? How would you describe the kind of music that you tend to love? If you're just going to have to listen to music and you just feel like, hey, this is really, it brings it out of me. What kind of music is that?
It would be between gospel and R&B.
Okay. Yeah.
Definitely. Because with every other music, whether it be rock, R&B, pop, whatever your preference, that music is cool. You know what I'm saying? It's very relatable. Mm-hmm. But with gospel, that's personal. That's a whole different, you know what I'm saying? Like, you went through some things to be able to testify about your testimony. So it would definitely be gospel first. Then going into R&B, that's the smooth, sultry vibe and everything like that. So in a way, in my opinion, sometimes it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. So I got one more question for you, because I'm going to have to let you go. I know you've got such a busy day to go. If people want to pick up your music, because they're going to be wanting to get to your music, how would they get a hold of your music? How would they get it?
It's on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, Google Music. You could also go to I Am Sincere LV, or to my company's website, myblinkshowtv.com, or just blinkshowtv.com.
blinkshowtv.com or IamSincere.com. Well,
Yes.
Sincere Porter has been with us today on Livin in Vegas podcast. I want to thank you so much.
Thank you for
She's
having me.
folks be listening for her because she's going to be doing some more stuff, and she's graced us with her time today. Thank you so much for that, and
Thank you.
looking forward to hearing more about you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, we'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Well, folks, was that fun? That was Sincere Porter, and she's doing such a great job just making it happen. Just so excited about what she's doing in life. So let's talk a little bit more, folks. As a matter of fact, we've got a little bit more of the show left, and so I don't know if you've known this, but in Las Vegas, we've got a lacrosse team. Yeah, we do. We've got a lacrosse team, and that lacrosse team just got a name. Yeah, it's called Desert Dogs. Yeah, Desert Dog. Can you imagine that? For those of you who don't know what lacrosse is, and this was interesting. I saw a show on last night, and it was one of those mysteries of the museum, that kind of thing. And it was on last night, and it showed a Indian tribe here in the United States, and how they actually were able to overcome a fort. And what they were doing is they were playing this game, and the game had a wooden stick, had a hole in the top of it with some kind of meshing on it, and they used this game where they were actually going to throw a ball back and forth, that kind of stuff. It's a very interesting game. And I went, well, kind of looks like lacrosse. And that's exactly what it was. It was actually, they didn't call it lacrosse. They called it something else. I forgot what they called it. But it was the precursor to lacrosse that we have now. And this was back in the 1800s. So this was early on, early 1800s, when the British were still trying to, make their way across America, that kind of thing. And this is before the Civil War and everything else like that. So it was a very, very interesting thing. So we actually have our own lacrosse team. It's the 15th expansion team. The Desert Dogs begin their first season December 22nd. And this will be of this year, so it'll be cool. I think Wayne Gretzky, that's right, Wayne Gretzky actually is one of the partial owners of the Desert Dogs. So we're, this is going to be very cool that you're going to be able to see this, and very excited about that. Also, and I think we just got a couple more minutes, do we? Yeah, I've got just a couple more minutes. There is, we've also got, many of you probably heard about the young girl. Her name is Aaliyah. I think it's Aaliyah. Aaliyah is she's a Spring Valley High School basketball star. And she was shot 10 times, 8 times. No, it was 10 times. She went to a house party, and she was in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's kind of basically what it was. Wrong place, wrong time. And she was shot several times. Now, people do this all the time. I mean, they're at the wrong place at the wrong time. But in this girl's case, she was a star athlete at Spring Valley High School, and had already signed a letter of intent to USC. Well, unfortunately, people were thinking, oh my gosh, she's in the hospital now. Is she ever going to be able to get back to her form? Will USC even accept her now? That was that's kind of one of the biggest things is now, you wouldn't blame the school saying, hey, well, you're shot up, and what are we going to do? We're, even though you signed a letter of intent, you're all shot up. But USC has just announced that they have a national letter of intent that they've accepted, and it is for Aaliyah for her to actually play for USC Trojans, which is great. I don't know if people really realize that there are a lot of star athletes who are playing in the pros now, or who have played in the pros over the years, who have come from Las Vegas. Many of you heard of Icky Woods. I actually played for Reno, but he played here. Randall Cunningham played in Las Vegas. We've got several baseball players who have come from Las Vegas who are in the pros now. And they're not just pros, they're pros with a big P. So I know a lot of people believe that when the go to UNLV or they come out of Las Vegas, they just leave. And they go, okay, we're just going because there's more better places to play. It's not so. It really is not so. Percentage-wise, Las Vegas and going to UNLV, we have a higher percentage of people who've gone to the pros out of UNLV than most colleges nationally. So that's going to all the big league colleges. So don't discount Las Vegas. Just don't discount us at all. So the Palms is opening up, folks. We just got a couple more minutes. Okay, yeah, got a couple more minutes. So the Palms is opening up, folks. Woo-hoo. After 2 years of silence, the Palms is actually opening up. They're going to be opening up Wednesday, which is tomorrow, 9 p.m. And that's a big one. And it's coinciding with the NFL draft. We're going to talk about that in just a second. So it's coinciding with the NFL draft. We're so excited about the fact that the Palms, after all this time, is opening back up. And it's not just opening back up as, just a casino. It is under new management. That new management is one of a kind. So it's the first Indian tribe, first people's nation, however they want to call it, that is owned by an Indian tribe. And what's the name of that tribe, too? Gosh, I'm going to screw this up. I wish I wasn't screwing this up. But they actually were bought, $650 million cash in May 2021. So during the pandemic, during the height of the pandemic, May of 2021, $650 million. San Manuel Band of Mission Indians bought the place. And interesting thing about it is a lot of people believe that that there were some issues with going on with the Palms because it sat dormant so long. And generally what happens is if buildings are meant to be lived in, or they're meant to be used, that kind of stuff. Well, the Palms did absolutely nothing. They shut down. But the place is opening up Wednesday. It looks like everything is good. We're excited for them. The resort has 766 rooms, suites, including 10,000 square foot hardwood suites, sleeps 8, indoor basketball court. It's just, I think the bedrooms are indoor basketball courts. It's just, some great stuff that's going on with the Palms. So we're excited about them. And also, so let's talk about the NFL draft. So the NFL draft is the 28th. So it's just this weekend coming up. Ahead of the NFL draft, a lot of players, the Raiders, the NFL, the organization itself is here in Las Vegas. Everybody's excited about it. Many of the prognosticators, people who have been talking about what precedent Las Vegas is setting for the next NFL draft, because in Vegas, we just don't do things. We do it up. We do it to the nines. We're going to have bands. We're going to have shows. We're going to have a red carpet event that's going to be incredible. I've got my press pass for it. I'm going to be out there. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to be out there. And so part of what the NFL did, though, is they actually went down in North Las Vegas. They planted some trees down there. There's an article that says NFL Green teamed up with the city of North Las Vegas, Verizon, Get Outdoors Nevada, the YMCA, City of North Las Vegas, Parks and Recreation, Bright View Landscape. They planted 32 pine trees in North Las Vegas parks, which is very cool. Trees provide more shade, cooling, in historical low-income communities, which is very cool. And not only that, but the Raiders are actually going around doing stuff too. Everybody's getting in on this. Yesterday, over at the fabulous Welcome to Las Vegas sign that's way at the south end of the valley, they turned the lights, which are normally, kind of a neon color or kind of a white, red, yellow sometimes, and they changed it. This time they changed to silver and gray. So very cool. And that's because the Raiders are the home team and they're hosting the event. So it's very cool. Some very cool stuff that is going on in Las Vegas, and it's just going to get better and better and better, folks. So tomorrow, folks, we're going to end the show right now. So tomorrow we're going to have a really cool show. I'm really excited about some of the cool things. Oh, we didn't make an announcement. Um, we're going to make this announcement really cool. Is that we have a project that we're working on right now, and it's called Club 44. And Club 44 is really, we're looking for 44 business owners who want to partner with Livin in Vegas magazine. We're really working hard to go to a print edition of the magazine. And many of you know that we have the magazine. You can't see it in front of you because, oh, I don't have it with me. But we're going to a print version of the magazine. Right now, you can get the magazine digitally, and we get it out to about 100,000 people a week, which is great. We're excited about that. But we want to go to a print format, and that costs money. It is what it is. So we want to invite business owners. You could have a car lot. You could be a lawyer. You could be a doctor. You could be like Sincere Porter. You could just be a philanthropist, and you can actually just come up and join with us. Be a part of a foundational core of people, and this is an exclusive group. I mean, it's only going to happen once. We're going to cut that number off at 44 business owners or sponsors or whatever you want to call them. And they're going to be a part of a fraternity of people who have invested in Livin in Vegas magazine to help us become a print magazine. Okay, so that's really it. So send a note to us over at info@livininvegas.com. That's info@livininvegas.com, and you could actually be a part of Club 44. Okay, there's only 44 people that we're looking for. Okay, we're not looking for 45, not 46. We're looking for 44 people who can actually be a part of that team. Once again, send us your contact information. We'll send you all the information you need at info@livininvegas.com, and you can actually be a part of Club 44. Okay. Anyways, this has been Sherman Ray. We'll be back to our regular format tomorrow. And you'll get to see all the graphics and all that cool stuff. But we wanted to make sure we got on Sincere Porter on the show today. And she did such a great job. Once again, if you want to get a hold of any of her stuff, iamsincere.com. Okay, or go to blinkshowtv.com. You can actually get a lot of her stuff. Okay, so we'll see you again tomorrow, folks, for Livin in Vegas magazine, the podcast, where we'll talk about the people, the places, the events, the things that shape the city of Las Vegas. When you think of Livin in Vegas, think Livin local, folks. We'll see you again tomorrow, 8:30 in the morning. Bye-bye.